On to you, Scorpios. You actually have the Magician, Page of Wands, and then you Scorpios also have the Strength card. So what's going on here with you is that y'all are pretty much in a very powerful position because for you Scorpios, the Magician is Scorpio. The Magician can represent 3 zodiac signs: Gemini, Virgo, or Scorpio. Because Scorpio is voodoo, right? Magic, right? Brujo or brujilla, right? My Spanish speakers, y'all know what that is. It's a warlock or a spellcaster, basically, in English. And so, you know, you're very powerful around this time. You're making your dreams come true. Usually when I get the Magician, it's a triumphant card because it usually means that the universe is pretty much whatever it is that you say it is. And so that's what it is that you Scorpios got going on. Y'all are in a very powerful position where that's actually happening, right? The Page of Wands and the Strength card here represents, and not only that, but you're also kind of blocking out distractions and stupid stuff from getting in the way, pretty much. So all kind of distractions, whether it's chatter, what other people say, you know, the tactics that people will use, all types of goofies, because, you know, people will position themselves to be seen by you, you know, because they want your attention and you don't really care. That really has people kind of get in their emotional bag because of that fact. And so the situation with that is that you have the Judgment and the Ace of Cups. And so the Judgment and the Ace of Cups here represents how a lot of you Scorpios are in place where, you know, again, the Judgment, right? So the Judgment and the Ace of Cups. So the Judgment is different things. It represents, yeah, other people's judgments of you. But again, you have the Strength card, which represents how you Scorpios don't care because you're able to have restraint for yourself. You don't have to wild out or any of that type of stuff in the first place. So it's like a catch-22 for them where you don't really care about the kind of nonsense that people are talking. Because you could be in some nonsense right now where people kind of low-key cool with you, quote unquote, but then they have their own instance where they are disrespectful to you behind your back, or maybe they're doing it to your face, right? You're having a little bit of like resistance with people whom you should actually be cool with. And in any case, the Judgment right here represents how y'all are in a position where what you've got going on is the Judgment is ultimately, it's about how you have grown up from that. You're evolved from that, right? So it's this sense of, yeah, they may be throwing judgment onto you, but do you Scorpios really care? I mean, in the sense that you don't want people talking about you, that's wild, but disrespectful, but at the same time, you have thicker skin than that, right? So, you know, this is what I want. This is what I want, not just you Scorpios, but this is what I want all the zodiac signs to really get. Like, you're going to be called things in life. Like I've had, I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but I've had palm colored people, if you catch my drift, call my home and be like, oh, we want to do something to your family, if you catch my drift. Like I've had that. I've had people use the N-word. I've had, you know, people saying that they're going to unalive me. You feel what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Coming up, like this real, like this real talk. This real talk. Real talk. I'll give you names, dates, locations. The real talk. So in life, you got to understand, like, let the talk go for the most part. Let it go. Like, people going to say a lot. Like, I've had people, I mean, come off really disrespectful. I've had people be like, oh, suck my. Now, of course, in New York, that's a big time disrespect. But it's like, okay, right? Like, no, but I gotta take that. I gotta take the resistance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let that brush off my shoulders, because at the end of the day, life goes on, right? And so that's what's happening with you, Scorpios. Life goes on. So whatever it is that they're doing to get to you, talk wild to you, you're not getting into the mud with them. You're not lowering yourself to get close to them. You're not trying to give them attention. You Scorpios probably got your own things that you've got going. And especially if you have a lot to do and a limited amount of time, or a time that you want to place things on, that you want to get things done by, then I'm sure that you don't really care about what people are saying to you, because you Scorpios are in the zone. You're trying to get done the things that you want to get done as soon as possible. And so the Ace of Cups here represents how you Scorpios are in a place where you only care about what you are paying attention to. So family, right? Obviously, yourself, right? Your own inner world, which is yourself. How good you feel, how good you look, how healthy you are, which is yourself. The money in your pocket, all of that, right? So because of that, right? And then, like I said, staying connected with yourself. And so there's a level of being in the zone, tunnel vision, paying attention to what you got to do. The Eight of Swords here and the Two of Wands here for you Scorpios also is about how, and so there's nothing that really they say can really affect you or really get to you because you don't care. The Two of Wands represents here, and the way that you Scorpios are handling it with such grace is kind of sending them through a loop. Because again, my favorite anime is Bleach, right? So let's use Dragon Ball Z, because most people know what Dragon Ball Z is, right? I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is probably my second favorite anime, up underneath Bleach. Bleach is my first for various different reasons. But Dragon Ball Z, for instance, right? People will look at Goku. The villains will look at Goku and think Goku is a goofball. And Goku can laugh and joke and talk. But the thing about Goku is a lot of people don't really give Goku, credit for his intelligence. Like, he's lighthearted, but it doesn't mean that Goku is stupid or he's daft or like he's slow. That's not what's going on. It's just that he affects the people around him in a good way based upon his fun-loving nature, right? And so because of that fact, right, you know, he's even made friends with Zeno. And who is Zeno? Zeno is basically so far, I don't know, but the absolute most high of the DBZ universe, right? Where Zeno basically plays with galaxies and universes for fun. Goku's made friends, good friends with him, like slapping hands and joking and hanging out and stuff like this. And you understand what I'm saying? And so over people's heads, and people are like sweating when they are around Zeno, because everybody knows like Zeno is the most powerful. But that's my point. It's the fact that you are unassuming. You people, part of the reason why you're able to win so much, and what gets a lot of people caught off guard, is the fact that they constantly underestimate you Scorpios. And that is a mistake on their part, because it's like they don't really understand. It's not you Scorpios trying to even get in their way. You don't care. You Scorpios have a life and you have purpose. So when you have this is what I'm talking about. When you have a purpose, the people that are standing in front of you are all like adversaries for you to learn something. But ultimately, they are not the goal. The goal is for you to reach apotheosis. What is apotheosis? Your own divinity. They're just in the way, and you have to get through them. This is why I was saying that work with you and not against you. See? Work with you and not against you. Because a person can either, again, Wizard of Oz reference, hint, hint, wink, wink. They can either walk down or walk up the yellow brick road with you at your side, or they can stand in front of you. If they're standing in front of you on the yellow brick road and in your way specifically, those are the people that you have to get to in order to get to where it is that you're going to go. But they are individuals that may join you, but they may not join you. Just depends. The situation with you is that's what's happening with these individuals whom you have shaken off, basically, or you have kind of thrown off, basically, because they think that them getting your attention the correct way is them being adversarial to you. The Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands represents, but that's not the best way at all. You don't care. You Scorpios are focused on being the best that you can be, because that's what brings the love to you, is you being the best that you can be. Because if you've been paying attention, which I'm sure you have, I've been saying this the longest time, that everybody loves a winner. Well, that's true. If you win and do your thing, you're going to have people who are going to want to understand, why are you so sure that you're headed in the correct direction? And this is what I'm trying to say, that the Most High is not on the outside of you. The Most High can be found in you, right? In the heart, where you are. And so it's an alchemical process. So you have to go inwardly in you, right? You have to go internal. You have to build the internal world. That's what the last dragon was about. You had one that was chasing external validation, right? In show enough, he was chasing external validation so that he can finally get it through his head that internally that he was the master. But then you had Leroy Green, who essentially didn't feel like he was, he knew that he was good, but he didn't want to say that he was the master, even though he was the master. He didn't want to say that he was the master because he felt like if I said it, then it invalidates me. And so that's what's going on here for you, right? Whoever this person is, they're chasing external validation to fill their internal world. And you have internal validation, and you don't need external validation. But the thing about it is that this is your external validation, even though it's weird. So, because not every reading is going to be a love reading. It's not supposed to. This is about your own self-improvement. That's literally what the tarot is about. It's about your own empowerment, actually. So I'm seeing here for you, seeing here for you, Scorpios, This is about how a lot of you Scorpios are in a place where, once again, you are reaching that level of apotheosis, the self-improvement, the most high level type of thing, right? But in the flesh. And again, the more you do you is the more that other people who constantly seek validation can't essentially do them. Trust me. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands. Okay. You have the Nine of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Star card, and then you have the Fool card. So to clarify the Nine of Wands, which is them, which is, individuals whom you stop talking to, still kind of making it seem like they're living a good life, but they're comparing themselves to you. They may even be reaching out to you, but they're comparing themselves to you, and you Scorpios see it. The Nine of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, they can never actually reach the level that you Scorpios are, because you're not on any level anymore, right? Remember, what did I love martial arts movies. What did Bruce Lee tell y'all from Enter the Dragon? When the monk asked him, what is the highest level of martial arts? And what did Bruce Lee say? To have no level. You Scorpios are on a point where there are no more levels. It's just based upon what it is that you learn and how you put what you learned into practice. Wisdom. What you learned versus what you put into practice. Wisdom is knowledge and understanding. Understanding is practical application. Knowledge is what you learn biblically, or what people tell you, or something that you read in a book or a magazine, or something that you think about. That's knowledge. Understanding is practice, what you actually do physically, how you go from just thinking about it only to now you actually live it out, you actually experience it, right? So this is what I'm talking about when it is that, for example, when I say that I see all these action movies on the television about, skydiving, jumping out of planes, parachuting, and bows and arrows and stuff. What have I said? I said I'm seeking wisdom for that stuff. What am I saying? I'm saying that I'm doing all the studying. I'm watching all these people do all these amazing things, right? The Black Widow, and I love that movie, by the way, with Scarlett Johansson. The Black Widow and Jason Bourne and all these movies, right? Enter the Dragon, right? The Last Dragon, right? Now it's like, okay, that's studying. Now it's a matter of practical application. I went to range. I have an archery set. I'm going to learn how to do kinjutsu, which is swordship, right? Learning how to use the sword. So I'm actually experiencing this stuff along with studying it. So the wisdom is that's real. So now when I see it on television, that's real, that's fake. There's a button on the side of the pew that ejects it. You understand what I'm saying? You load the magazine this way. You don't do something stupid. So it has me respected even more. And that's what's going on with you Scorpios. You Scorpios know what it's like to be at the bottom. Now you know what it's like to be at a very unknown level to a person who has not experienced this level. Because it's not a level. It is what it is. It's not a level anymore. That's my cat. And so now the situation with that is that the 10 of Wands, the Star card, and the Fool card for you Scorpios just basically speaks about how you Scorpios are in a place now where, they have to go on their own journey. Figure out, why you and them didn't work. But they have to get over their ego first, because you're not going back together with them. You Scorpios are getting to know other people. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,350 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace. Oh, and if you Scorpios want to come through and get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. And also, if you want to check out my video game too, that's the first one in a series. I'm coming out with more. Appreciate it. Peace.